Hi, teachers. Welcome to the last part of our virtual conferences this afternoon. Today, I'm really glad to present Eugenia de Loza. She's going to be giving our keynote. Let me tell you something about Eugenia, please. Eugenia de Loza graduated as a profesora de inglés from Instituto Superior de Profesorado Técnico, Universidad Tecnológica Nacional en Buenos Aires. She has had classroom experience as a whole language facilitator for more than 15 years and has also taught English to students with special needs through process drama. She is currently an educational consultant and materials designer for the Buenos Aires Players and an alternative language learning teacher, trainer, and materials designer. She founded Baby's Corner, a language school for babies and very young learners, and she's involved in constant research on early learning and the development of pedagogical material. She founded PlanUp to provide teachers with practical hands-on tools and strategies from a real experience. She has participated in conferences along Argentina and also in Chile, Paraguay, Bolivia, and Peru. She's deputy head at a bilingual kindergarten in Buenos Aires. So welcome, Eugenia. It's a pleasure to have you here. We
Hello.
are, looking forward hearing from you.
Hello, Cynthia. Hello, everybody. I am very glad to be here. I would love to be there, but I had a great time the last time I was in Bolivia, in La Paz, especially. I love your country, so I would love to be there in person. But I am very glad to be part of this event. And I would like to thank you and Pearson for making it possible.
We are glad to have you here, but now I'm going to leave you with your audience, so great.
Okay.
I hope you have a great presentation.
Thank you very much.
Let me share your screen. There you are.
There we go. So hello, everybody. This is Brain Breaks. This is a way to energize your classes. But first of all, I would like to thank you for being here, for joining me today. And I would also like to tell you that everything Cynthia said about me is reduced in a simple sentence. I am a teacher like any of you there. I might be a little bit curious and I like learning new things, and I also like sharing new things. So this is what I want to share with you today. We're going to talk about brain breaks. As you know, I am from Buenos Aires, Argentina, and I am very happy to be here sharing this with you. Brain breaks is something I enjoy doing in my classes. I have done this for a long time. Being part of a holistic methodology has taught me the importance of giving our brains some breaks. This is something that the pandemic has taught us. After being connected to the same screen or same virtual classes for long periods, our brains needed to have a kind of break. So now we're going to talk a little bit about brain breaks. Mind you, there is a note here. You will need a blank sheet of paper or any piece of paper and a pencil for an activity we're going to do afterwards. So as I was telling you, we're going to talk a little bit about brain breaks, what they are. We're going to talk about when and why and how to use them. And we will see some tips on how to use them. But first of all, we need to know what brain breaks are. Brain breaks are short activities we choose to do in between activities within a lesson. Brain breaks are activities you can use as energizers or brain gym activities to start your lessons, to finish your lessons. Brain breaks are short. Brain breaks are not for language practice. Brain breaks are for the brain to work in a better way. Brain breaks are what your students need to get connected to their learning process. So imagine a very tired brain. We need this brain to be focused and to be ready to learn. Imagine your student being in front of a computer for long periods of time, sitting at their desks for long periods of time, and perhaps having one teacher and another teacher coming in and going out. So we need to change this atmosphere they are living in, and we can do this with short activities such as brain breaks. Now, why is it that we use brain breaks? Brain breaks help their production stage. Brain breaks make your students more productive. Brain breaks are related to the productivity. You will have more productivity inside your classes. Brain breaks trigger creativity. If your brain is relaxed, and let's call it relaxed, but the stage we have is technically different, but let's call it relaxed. If it is in a relaxing stage, you're letting your brain create new things. We have more connections, more synapses, more neurological connections, and you will see that neurons are working much better. Social skills. The kind of activities we do are ideal for small groups, bigger groups, online lessons, but the idea is to create bonds. And another way of thinking of the social skills is that you are giving your students this alarm telling them, I am worrying about you. We are doing something that perhaps has nothing to do with grammar or vocabulary, but we are doing this just for you. And this helps with the social-emotional development. Brain breaks are also related to downtime. What is downtime? Downtime is the moment when, after lots of input we are giving them, we are providing them with lots of input and lots of information, the brain needs a moment to rest and acquire that information in a different way. This is something that happens physiologically. This is something the brain needs as part of the learning and acquiring process. So this is something that the brain will ask you for. If you're giving, have you heard of, I don't know, the Pomodoro technique for studying or working, when you find it difficult to concentrate, you're giving the brain some certain time to concentrate and focus on something, and then this relaxing time, which is downtime, because you let it rest to get the energy to keep on working. And as we mentioned before, we're going to talk about focus. We're going to see how these brain breaks can help us focus on what is to come. So why do we use these brain breaks? Because of all of these reasons: productivity, creativity, social skills, downtime that is necessary for the brain, and focus to get our students focused on the attention they need for what is to come. When are we going to use them? We said we can use these at the very beginning of the class, in between activities. If you're working with young learners, you can have brain breaks after their break, if they were outside playing and they come all energetic, so we need them to go down, to calm down. So we have different moments to finish the class in a relaxing mode. But we're giving the brain the chance to have its time for its own time. And that's what we're going to concentrate on. How are we going to do this? I will bring lots of examples, but I would love you to show me your pinkies, and let's have some pinky promise, because the idea is you're going to do something with your students that you need to believe in. If you do not believe in this, you will not see them as something useful. And I will tell you why. Because you need to know what happens in the brain, and you will see the difference within your classes, within your own students, and how this helps. But it is not that you announce brain break now and you start doing it. It's absolutely different. You just start doing, you say, okay, let's do something different. And it is a 3-minute activity, a 5-minute activity, but that is a lot for them to change, to shift one activity for the other. So how are you going to do it? Believing in what you are doing. So remember about our pinky promise, because I can't see you now. And if you have been to any of my talks, you know I like having people moving around and being energetic, because this is what we need to show our students. We are their models, and we need to show them what we are doing, because it works for us and for them. So is the pinky promise okay there? Are you promising you will do this? Another thing, we're going to see some tips today. So the activities we're going to do right now are in a PDF. You will have the PDF of this presentation. You have my email at the end, or the people from CBA or Pearson will share this with you. So don't worry, you don't need to take down notes. I just want you to enjoy what we are doing and think the benefits you can have from these with your students. So, I would love to know your names. I don't know how many people we have there, but how can I get to know your names? When you have a big audience working with their names, how many people do we have? Cynthia, can you tell me?
Right now we have 95 people watching.
Imagine if I needed to know all of your names. So let's have brain-friendly activity to talk about your names. What's your name? We're going to have a brain break related to our hands. We're going to use our hands for this. So I have right hand, left hand, both hands. So here we have the letters of the alphabet, and the letter L for left, the letter R for right, and the letter B for both. So what I will ask you to do now, and remember, we learn by doing, so I will be seeing you to check whether you're doing it with me or not. I am going to spell my name with my hands. It's easier if I say the letter first, but then in silence. I'll go like E, both hands, U, my right hand, G, E. That's for Euge. So can we do it again? But now I won't say my letters. I'll go like good. So what happens here? We're giving the brain a way to have fun and to focus on, we have to think of the way we spell our names. So the letters in order, the order of the letters, and also the movement. So what we are doing is we're combining the hemispheres, they are working together, and we are challenging the brain. We're giving the brain the chance to think in a different way, to challenge, to place movement. To tell you the truth, I have two names because it is a compound name. I am Maria Eugenia. So let's see if you can spell Maria with me. M-A-R-I-A. And if we had to do Maria Eugenia de Losa, it would be, we will stay the whole afternoon here. But the idea is you give them the chance to introduce themselves by working with the hands. Of course, you will never guess their names because we only have three options. So letters are going to be repeated all along. But the idea is give them the chance to spell words, to think of a word they like and to spell it like that. I thought of the names here because of this activity, but give them the chance to associate the letter and the right or left hand, both hands, and the movement. What we are doing is giving the brain the chance to have a challenge, the brain to have a break from all the studying, all the grammar, all the vocabulary there. Is that right? Are you following me? So this is one simple activity we were doing with hands. Now, As you can see below the Pearson's logo, I have brain break hands, and there is another icon there. You have an icon for hands and an icon for breathing. Breathing has lots to do with brain breaks. Breathing has lots to do with the brain. So if we combine hands and breathing, we can use our hands like this. And this is something I love doing with the little ones, because you ask them to separate their fingers, to have their pointing finger from the opposite hand, and what they are going to do is to follow the silhouette of the hand. But as they go up, they are going to inhale. They breathe in and then they breathe out. So breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Once again, you need to trust the activity. When you are having kids who are very energetic, who are having difficulties in focusing, you can ask one individual kid, okay, wait, take 3 seconds for breathing. This is very much related to mindfulness. Mindful activities are great for those special moments when you see they are kind of disconnected. And this is something they can't avoid. They can't prevent from happening. They need to find a way to connect to the activities. This is something you can do with. I work in kindergarten. I have students who are 1 year old, and you can play with your fingers and their hands like this. They are not going to do the breathing because it's going to be difficult for them to learn, but you can do the breathing, and you show them. And this is showing them a technique they can use in the future. You can use this with teenagers. You can use this with adults. You can use these techniques with anybody, any age group, any student you have in groups, and they do it all together. And you can also choose somebody to direct the activity to go up and down and up and down. How's your breathing going? Because here we have another one. When breathing, I learned this activity from Monica Rodriguez Salvo, and I think she was with you these days. I learned this activity from her. I attended a course with her. And the idea is to build a square. The square has 4 sides. So the idea is we're going to breathe in and hold. We're going to breathe in, in 4 tempos. We're going to count up to 4. We're going to hold the breathing in 4 tempos too. You're going to exhale in 4 tempos, and then you're going to hold that exhalation in 4 tempos before breathing in again. So as you do this, you go, you hold it, you breathe out, and you hold it. Good. So as you do this, you can, if you feel like, close your eyes. So you will feel different. You will feel your body is relaxing, and you will feel that your students are getting relaxed. The idea here is give them the chance to find this moment for themselves. Once you see this in class, you will see the whole group is going to follow you. The idea of the square is because we are going in 4 parts, and you can also accompany this with the movement. As you breathe in, you hold it, and there you go. So that's why you have the breathing. You have the possibility to give those students who need to concentrate on something to follow the schemata we are having. So we're breathing a lot. Talking about breathing, you can have mindful breathing in tempos, and we mentioned mindfulness before. This is my mindful ball, or the ball I have for mindfulness activities, which you can use with very young learners. This helps them control their breathing, and as they breathe in, their stomach, their tummy is full of air. They get all the air in their tummy, so they breathe in and they breathe out. If you pass this on to your students, they will follow their breathing patterns with the ball. And this is great. You can also use this ball to give them the chance to speak. As any kind of activity, you ask them a question, so you throw the ball, they catch it, and as the brain needs to be busy while doing things, you ask them to answer and to keep the ball moving from the outwards to inwards, and there it goes bigger and smaller. So their hands are going to be busy, and they are going to be concentrated on what they are having to say while the ball moves. Breathing in tempos could also be with counting. And this is some practice you can have with your students, as we did before with going up and down. You can also have them counting in 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have to connect to direct the activity. It goes like 4, and then they release the air in 4 again. Then you can challenge them. Okay, why not trying this in 6 tempos? So you count up to 6 and they release. They have to hold it for some seconds and then they release it. Remember, it is not that you're going to have all of these activities as we are doing them, one back to back from the other. No, the idea is you will choose 2 or 3 to work throughout the week, to work in between activities, and to work. Perhaps brain breaks are not something that you can plan. You say, I will do this activity, I will have this brain break, and then it's the other way around. You have to feel whether they need the brain break or not. When breathing and moving, can you ask your students to stretch? And stretching has lots to do with helping the brain get more blood, and we need this flow of blood all the time moving there. So if they are sitting for a long time on the same chair at home in front of the screen or at school, they need some time. So we can ask them to stand up, to stretch their arms, and then as they go breathing, to go and touch their toes. You can also ask them to have arm circles. You can ask them to have 8s drawn in the air with one hand and the other. You can also, even the younger they are, the more they like moving, jumping jacks. So if I stand up, you get me off the screen, but it is opening your arms and legs at the same time. So you open and close them. What happens there with the breathing? You can conduct this breathing too. As they go up, they breathe in. As their hands go down, they breathe out. Remember, their brains need these breaks. So the movement also helps the brain concentrate. With very young learners, as we were saying before, you can have, I've got one marker here. You can ask them to put the marker on the floor, and this is especially for young learners. So they have the marker on the floor and they have to jump. And it is a kind of Simon Says activity where you say, I don't know, front and back, front and back, front, and then you can go right and left. This is pencil jumps because it is something very easy you can do with any school objects, any item they have. If you want it to be a ball, it could be the ball jumps. It could be, I don't know, not the mug or the glass, but something they have handy, and they call a cushion jump. So the idea is to give movement to the class. With these movements, because there you can see the guy stretching to his side, I thought of these different activities that we have in the circles. These are activities you can use as brain breaks, and once you play them for the first one, the circles one, once you play it in many times, I don't know, 5 times, and then you can use it as a grouping activity if you need to have them in groups. So the activity says call out a number of students, call out a number, and students must form a circle with that number of students in it. So there are 20 students in your class, and you can play some music, and when the music stops, it goes like 3. So they need to group together in 3s. This is a game that you can have for fun. If you cannot leave your language teacher aside, you're practicing numbers. Because what happens with these brain breaks, if we were teachers of Spanish and we were teaching Spanish to them, it would be the same language all the time. But in this case, we're also giving them instructions in English, which is very much related to process drama and drama techniques, where they receive all of the information and they start producing. So all of these things are connected. So you can have the big group. Now with social distancing, this is very a bit difficult, but this is something I want you to have in your classes after the pandemic. So you call out a number and they get the circles. So you say 3, you play some more music, they stop, as if they were, instead of the musical chairs, they stop, and you have 4. So they need to find a partner. You then decide what happens with those who did not get a group and could not get together. Once the last option could be 2s, and then you say, now these circles of 2s, and the idea is now it is pair work. So you used this brain break activity, a very short activity, 3-minute activity, for them to get together, but the energy is different. Imagine all of your students moving, having the chance to stand up and move around in the class, to then sit for the following activity. That's great. Well, group count. Start by calling out 1. This is something I like. It is a kind of concentration game. Any child can stand up and say 2. Then another one says 3. And the problem is that if they do not do it in turns and they coincide in the same moment, you have to start again. It is not a concentration game, because in fact, whether they are concentrated or not, it does not matter, because if they come together, it is just something that it depends on luck, whether you're lucky or not, because you can stay the whole afternoon playing this. The idea is to go counting from 1 to the number, or perhaps your challenge is up to 5. But you will see with young students, they start all of them saying, you say 1 and they say 2, 2. So, oops, we have to start again. So they need to start checking onto the others to see, and you can play this on virtual classes too. This is something you can do online, and they have lots of fun, because in general, when you are they are kind of getting trained on this, and when they are about to get to the aim, perhaps number 7, the 2 of them say it at the same time, and you have to start again. Another game I like with music too is cheek to cheek, but in fact, it refers to different parts of the body. The idea is to mention 2 different parts of the body, and they have to get those parts together. Again, with social distancing, this might be difficult, but you can also play this with adults. And I invite you to play this with teenagers and adults. Remember, the more you trust on the activities you are performing, the more you participate in this and you model these, they will be part of this, and they will start enjoying them and getting the benefit from using them while playing. So the idea in cheek to cheek is to mention 2 body parts. So you say elbow and knee. So one of them has to put their elbow and the other one the knee, and to get together. So they leave like statues there. They stay like statues. So students find a partner and put those body parts together. The good thing with this is that always conductors can change and you play different roles in the class. Okay, here I have, if we go to the icons again, we have brain break, the movement, and there is another symbol. Let's see if you can write on the chat. Cynthia is going to help me. Let's see if you can write on the chat what this symbol represents. What is it? What do you think?
While we wait for the answers, I think it's, I don't know, to concentrate or focus on a target.
Oh, yes. It's like the focus for your camera, you see, like the target you have. So if you were, it could be the one from a gun, but I related it to a camera. So the idea is to focus on what you are doing as you move. So there are different kinds of moving. There are different kinds of, because if I ask my students to draw, they are moving their hands. And if I ask them to concentrate on what they are doing, so things are connected. The idea is to make it kinesthetic. I have 4 options here for you to take to your classes today. One is over, under, around, and through. I don't know whether you're familiar with the story, We're Going on a Bear Hunt. It says, we're going on a bear hunt. We're going to catch a big one. Oh, what a beautiful day. We're not scared. So suddenly this family who's going on a bear hunt, they say, oh, look, in the middle of their way, they find grass, long wavy grass. And they say, we can't go over it. We can't go under it. We need to go through it. So if your students are familiar with this story, they will know that the through it, it's like swish, swash, swish, swash, swish, swash. They need to move the long wavy grass in order to have their go through it. So why not using these prepositions, but with different things that even your students can suggest? Over, under, around, and through. So you say over the chair. So it is going to be an imaginary chair, and you will have your students doing this, and they will have to go over the chair. Okay, everybody under the chair. And it's just miming. The idea is to give the brain a break. So we're playing a game. We're being creative. We're giving the brain the chance to focus on this and concentrate on, wait, if it is, I don't know, the car, we're going under the car, or we're going around the car, we're going around the table. But mind you, everything is imaginary here. So we are playing with their creativity and imagination, and that's great. So especially the little ones, they will start thinking like, around a mountain, around, or I don't know, over a bear, a sleeping bear. So we need to go very slowly. Again, we're using process drama in the class because we are putting our bodies, we are giving, and we are acting out, and we are going like, okay, over, I don't know, a sleeping spy, or we need to go around a spy and he can't see us. So what can we do? Ninjas. So give them different roles, different things, and invite them to create the moment. There are other activities you can do online. This is, it says, students close their eyes and listen as you drop coins into a jar or can, and they guess how many you dropped. So I have a can here, a tin, okay? And Cynthia, you need to be on alert here because they are going to write on the chat the number of markers. I have some markers here. Okay. And according to the sound, you have to guess how many markers I'm dropping. Of course, I'm not going to show this. I will show the results. So are you ready? Here I go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, how many markers were there? So what happens with your students? They need to be with all their hearing on alert here to see what you are doing. Shall I do that again? 1, 2, 3. Are there 20 or 3? Is it more than 20? No, it's not more. It's less than 20. Let's do that again. Is it more than 3? Yes.
They're saying 4 or 5.
Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 markers. Here it goes again. So remember, this is not a teaching activity. You're not teaching anything. You're just asking them to focus their attention on something. In this case, we're using their hearing sense a lot. You can use the same with coins. This is very noisy. And they have to guess how many coins there were. So they try again. There were 10 coins there. We're not going to count them, but I like the idea of the markers better. This is something they can see. This is something they can do at home if you're playing in remote teaching. You can ask them to play with their own markers. So one day it is the teacher, the following day it is one student, and they change. So you have a very short brain break that they can all use. I said at the very beginning that you would need a sheet of paper and a pencil, because I would like to have some free drawing here. And this is, again, with any kind of students, I mean any age, you can have them with this free drawing activity. You can have them listening to some music, some specific music. I chose classical music for this, and ask them to draw whatever comes to their mind, which could be just lines and circles and things getting connected. It does not need to be a bird and a tree and a house and the family and whether the house has a roof or a floor. It is just something for them to draw as they listen to it. So I will play some music. I want you to have your pencils and sheets ready, and it is going to be just 30 minutes. Here we go. Okay, this was just an example. When I start listening to this music, I am not used to listening to classical music. So my drawings, I don't know whether this is going to be. I have like lines going up and down, up and down, up and down. If you give your students 1 minute of this music, they will start following the pattern, and the brain is being concentrated and focusing on the music. And there is no other purpose for this but focus. They will be focusing on this, and that's it. So afterwards, if you want, you can ask them, and this is like the more creative side of this. Okay, would you like to put some color into this? So the 1 minute activity with music, in 2 minutes, you add 2 more minutes, and they put some colors. They make their own production out of this. After this kind of activity, their creativity is at its highest point, and you can ask them to sit and create a writing piece. You can, nothing to do with the music, not because of the music, because of what they have just heard, but because their brains are ready, because of the exposure they had to the music, they are ready to work on something in a creative way. You can do the same with it, with the music. Instead of free writing, air writing. So as you listen to the music, they go up and down, they can move their bodies, they can dance the way they want. But mind you, their focus is on the music. So there is no right or wrong, because it is the way they feel this music. And this is something young learners find really useful, because they need to move. We know they need to move their bodies a lot, and apart from that, they need to feel their bodies moving. So this is going to be great with any age, but I guess younger students are the ones you're going to aim at. Now, have you ever tried a visualization? Do you know what a visualization is? Cynthia, can you help me with the answers there? Yes or no?
We don't have any answers yet, but I
Uh-huh.
think you referred to us imagining something. Yes?
Mhm. Yes,
Imagine that
again,
we are playing or doing something, I guess.
it is a kind of relaxation technique that we can use with our students. Sometimes these techniques can be used as the starting point for a writing activity, and perhaps those who are specialists on neuroscience would say no. If you're working on a brain gym, on a brain break activity, with your back straight, but not. It should be hurting. You should be comfortable. What you can close your eyes. Now, I will read something from you to close your eyes and imagine. And as I can't see you, I would like to know whether you will close your eyes or not. But the idea is to talk about a favorite place. So please take a deep breath, breathe out, close your eyes if you feel like, and listen. Today, we're going to think about our favorite places. As we begin, close your eyes if you feel like, and take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. As you continue breathing slowly, think of one of your favorite places to go. It can be anywhere, outside, inside, near us, or far away. It can be somewhere you have been a lot to, or somewhere you have been there only once. I want you to really focus on picturing it in your mind. What does this place look like? What can you notice about it? Does it have any certain sounds? Is it a loud place or a quiet place? Do you notice any smells there? Try to think about everything you can notice. Now, focus on how this place makes you feel. Does it make you feel calm, happy, excited, something else? Really think about this feeling. Continue to breathe slowly and focus on the feeling this situation is giving you. When you are finished, take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. and then slowly open your eyes. Working with visualizations is not that easy sometimes. As I said at the very beginning, it is something you need to believe in. So, my piece of advice here is to respect your students' mood towards this, whether they like it, their reactions, whether they like it or not, whether they want to participate or not. But start thinking of small pieces for you to read. I Googled this one and I surfed this from the web. But when you receive the PDF to this presentation, you will find a very long visualization there. And it is a different one, because here in my favorite places, we were talking about something you were imagining. There are visualizations where you tell them what to see. And of course, everybody will see different things. If you're talking about the beach, if you're talking about the mountains, if you're talking about, I don't know, the city center and a crowded place with very noisy situations, they will all picture different things. The idea is, in this case, visualizations with this aim, the idea of focusing with the focusing aim, we're going to give them the chance to think of, to go to a relaxing place, to go to a quiet place, a calm place. But you can use this later on as part of your language activity. In this case, they can afterwards talk about the place they imagined or not. They can write about the place they imagined or not. So you find a way to make out of this brain break, which is a relaxing one, a target activity for your writing or your vocabulary or whatever. But I like the visualization thing where they just concentrate on what is happening. So, to sum up, to see all the things we have done today, we talked about brain breaks and we had some brain gym. Brain gym is great for the brain to connect neurons, to get them connected. We talked about stretching with the moving. So if you find these things difficult at the very beginning, you can start with stretching activities. So you say, okay, breathe in, reach for the sky, and breathe out. You can have the runner's stretch where they start, the runners ends up, they're running and they start stretching their legs. You can have the butterfly stretch. You can have knee to chest. You can ask them to rotate their ankles, their wrists, to scratch their back. So you're asking them to move with these stretching. And the last thing I have are energizers. So we were talking about things to calm our students down, to give our brains a break. But you can also have movement like this. So to finish today, I would like Cynthia to have, can I share my last slide and we end up dancing?
Yes, of course. So, you want me to play the video?
Yes. So here you have my contact details if you want to have this presentation. This is a big thank you, but now Cynthia is going to share the video with us. So we are going to finish with an energizer, because sometimes we see our students are really tired and they are bored and they have been in classes for a long time and we need them to move with some music. So here Cynthia is going to share the video with us. And
greetings, my friends. It is I, Maximo.
This is
and
Maximo.
Today I'm feeling like, how do you say, a chicken. So let's do the
are you ready?
dance. Hit it.
So we are all chickens here.
Hey, flat, shake,
So
flat.
there you go. So hands, your clap like this, and we
I
shake.
love this dance. Do your best chicken impression. Bok, bok.
And now,
Grab a partner or turn around in circles with yourself,
Maximo then.
like Maximo. Other way.
So here we have Maximo going from one side to
Keep
the other.
turning.
And we are
Oh.
dancing.
Are you getting dizzy? Yes. Yes, you are.
So here we go again.
Hey, clap, shake, clap. Don't chicken out. Keep dancing. Slow it down now. Slow and steady wins the chicken race. Bok, bok, bogok. We're
Very
getting
good.
faster. Why did the chicken cross the road? To get to the other side.
Oh,
So you
very
can do the
good.
chicken
Very
dance.
good. Thank you very
Oh la la!
much. Thank
It's
you.
super rapido! Ay ay ay!
Yes. Cynthia, would you like to cut it now? Well done. Thank you. Thank you very much. So the idea was to have Maximo as an energizer to finish this presentation. I would like to thank you a lot once again. The idea is to feel how our students are and to see what they... Oh, hello, Elba. Hello, Paquita. Hello. How nice. I didn't know I could see these. Thank you very much. Nice comments. Thank you. The idea is to give your students the time they need to have these short breaks. Their brains need to rest within activities, in between activities. They need to move. They need to try different things. I know we're not used to doing these kinds of activities, but remember the pinky promise we had at the beginning. We need to try these. We need to give them the chance, and the more we use these, the more changes you will see within the groups. Trust me. Yeah. I'm tired after dancing too. Thank you, Pedro. Thank you very much. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, CBA. Thank you, Pearson, for making this possible.
Thanks to you, Eugenia. We were glad to have you here. I think everybody enjoyed your presentation. We have
Thank you very
only
much.
excellent and nice comments about your presentation. We dance, and I think we have to believe in what we are doing, as you said.
Okay. Thank you very much. Bye, everybody from Buenos Aires. A big kiss.
Goodbye, and we hope to see you soon.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Thank you very much.